What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz back here for Cinephellas.com. Happy 2020 to all of you. It's New Year's Day. It's a brand new year, brand new decade ahead. A lot of great film and TV shows heading our way. But let's talk about what a great fucking year it was in 2019 for movies at the end of the year, especially the introduction of the Disney Plus streaming service and the show The Mandalorian that critics and everyone alike love. Including myself. Everybody's talking about this show, Baby Yoda. It's like a cult phenomenon right now, pop culture. Everybody's talking about it in memes. The Mandalorian is loved by everybody. You know, fans of Star Wars, non-fans, just people that like TV, like good stories. Everybody's talking about the show. And tonight I'm going to talk about the final episode of Season 1 titled Redemption, and that's directed by Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi! One of my favorite names in all of Hollywood. Really great director, really great actor. He's a funny dude. And he also voiced the IG-11 robot in the TV show, so it's kind of cool he's directing this episode. If you guys have been following along on our channel, I've reviewed every episode this season. Each one is completely different. All different directors, writers, actors, actresses that have had cameos in the show. There's a lot of great people involved in The Mandalorian, and one of the best TV shows of 2019 for sure. You know, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni really crafted a beautiful Star Wars show. We haven't really gotten a lot of good Star Wars films as of late, and they took this TV show in a totally different direction, kind of a spaghetti western, raw, gritty TV show of this character, of this bounty hunter, the Mandalorian, him and Baby Yoda, or the kid, as people corrected me. Sorry, the kid, not Baby Yoda, even though it's Baby Yoda. It's Baby Yoda, right? Yeah! And they go on this adventure each episode this season. They've come across a lot of bad people. A lot of people have died along the way, and just a lot of great standalone episodes. So, like I said, each episode is directed, written by somebody different. So with episode 7, it was kind of a cliffhanger. We find Baby Yoda's been captured, taken by some stormtroopers. So episode 8 picks up with that. What exactly happens to Baby Yoda? It was pretty comedic and pissed me off at the same time. But we had Jason Sudeikis played the stormtrooper, and he like punches Baby Yoda a few times. And I'm glad it doesn't end well for the stormtroopers, because IG-11 shows up and saves the day and gets Baby Yoda and heads back to find the Mandalorian and the rest of the crew. We get a glimpse to see what happened to the Mandalorian exactly when he was a kid. His parents were killed. A group of the bounty hunters of the Mandalorian show up and save him, take him back to the planet. And we find out that the Mandalorian isn't really a race or a planet, but it's more of a creed. So they answered that question that I've had all season long. The scene with the Mandalorian, kind of him as a kid and being discovered by the Mandalorians and being taken into their custody to train and become the character we know today. And we find out what happened to the rest of the bounty hunters, the people that essentially saved him as a kid in this episode, which was really fantastic. We also have Moff Gideon, played by Giancarlo Esposito. The badass himself, Gus Fring, is back, and he's up to no good, as you can imagine. Him and the Mandalorian kind of face off and get into this fight. Really great action in this episode, I want to say, and really great sequences, especially what happens to a lot of the stormtroopers in this episode is really well done in terms of CGI and action and everything. We do get to see Moff Gideon flying around in a TIE fighter in this episode, which is really fantastic towards the end of the episode, and we see what the Mandalorian basically acquires, and he picks up a jetpack, which is really fucking sweet if you guys know Boba Fett, but he has a jetpack, he's like flying, going after Moff Gideon. A really great scene and towards the end of the episode, one of my favorites for sure. So them facing off, you know, it's not going to end well. It's going to lead up until the second season. The very end of the episode and more important aspects of this episode is Mandalorian finding out about the Jedi essentially. He has to go on this mission to find out where Baby Yoda is from and what species he is. None of us really know what Yoda was. We're finally going to get some answers probably in season 2 as to what Yoda was, what species, where they live, and more importantly, is there more of them? I'm guessing so. That was one of my favorite parts of episode 8, is setting up. Season 2 is the Mandalorian taking off with Baby Yoda. Episode 8 is definitely the best episode of the entire season. Season 1, called Redemption, directed by Taika Waititi. I really love the writing in this episode, the directing. I love all the characters. You know, Grief Karga, Carl Weathers, seeing Kara, Baby Yoda, IG-11, and then, you know, Moff Gideon's character, all really great ending to the season. And I can't wait for season 2 to find out what happens to all these characters and where the story goes and where the adventure goes. But overall, I had a really great time with The Mandalorian. Each episode, I was so invested And, you know, the writing, directing, acting was pretty solid across the board. I love how Jon Favreau was attached to The Mandalorian and bringing Baby Yoda into play and it becoming this huge, massive hit, pulp culture phenomenon, and it's just really fantastic. He's a super smart guy. He kicked off the MCU. He directed Elf, a Christmas classic, and now he introduced The Mandalorian to a huger fan base for everybody. You know, everybody loves The Mandalorian if they love Star Wars or not. And I really love the show. I love what they do with all these characters, the introduction to new characters, and where this story is going to go in the future season. So I absolutely love it. So overall, I'm going to give the first season of The Mandalorian on the Disney Plus streaming service a 5 out of 5 Baby Yoda hair pieces. If you guys did watch The Mandalorian, what did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What do you think is going to happen in season 2? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with Baby Yoda over here. Ah, he's so cute. Until the next video review, cheers!